Welcome to the Dreway. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for stopping by. Gosh, I got a lot to talk to you guys about today. So pull up a chair, get your sandwich, get something to drink, come hang out with me for a little while. I got some things to talk about, and I'm glad you're here. So let's get started. Let's go! Welcome to the Dreway. I am glad you're here. You know, you guys have been really nice to me. You guys have been really kind, and I want you to know I appreciate it because, you know, you do a show like this at least I do. I do it every single day. I do this show around the same time every single day, and thankfully, beautiful weather. I mean, it's just gorgeous out. And I do this show, but sometimes, I don't know, you go through peaks and valleys and you hit a valley and you think, you know, am I doing anything any good? Why isn't my channel growing faster? Should I be doing something differently? I mean, you go through all this stuff. And I just want to let you know that I read the comments, and some of you have been just so kind. And it's really appreciated. It really is, because to do a show every single day, regardless of on how big or small the scale is, it takes a certain amount of commitment to do it. And you want to know that what you're doing means something to somebody. It doesn't even have to be a whole lot of somebody. It just has to be that you're doing some good for some. And you guys have definitely let me know that, and I really appreciate it. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about today was, you know, with bombs bursting in air over Israel and Iran, and as bad as that all is, did you see the stock market? The stock market's going up today. The stock market is like, we just want to keep going up. And that is why you will notice on my show, I've been talking about constantly, first of all, about stash, getting your own stash account, checking out my link, and getting your own stash account, getting money for you and me if you use my link. I've been talking about all of that. But of course, now it's time to start talking about individual stocks. I think I told you the other day I got into some oil stocks because I think they're going to perform well. I'm a big fan of DoorDash. I'm a big fan of Block. I'm a big fan of Netflix and Nvidia. I don't think that's any surprise that I'm on Nvidia, but I've been in Costco for 4 or 5 years now, and it's done nothing but do well. And the other stock I like as well is Kroger's. People need to eat, and Kroger's does a wonderful job. So those are the stocks that I am heavily invested in. I just bought Shell and Marathon and Exxon and Oxy Petroleum. I just bought all the oil stocks a few days ago, and they're heading upwards. So I'm really happy with those trades. Now, one of the things I want to talk about here is the stock market itself versus anything else going on. And I want to talk about it because I've been invested in the stock market since the mid-70s. And because I invested in the stock market as a young man, I can tell you it's made my older years extremely easy. And that's the kind of thing that I want to try to get across, especially to people in their younger years. I mean, you know, if you're under 40, I cannot stress upon you enough how important it is to get invested. And if you're between the ages of 40 and 60, I cannot tell you how important it is to be invested. And even though I'm 61, I continue to put money into the market because I think I have at least 30 more years on Earth. So with that in mind, 30 more years is a long time. I mean, 30 years today would take us back to 1995. 1995. That was a long time ago. So that's my point. Even at my age, I'm looking at 30 more years. So I want investment grade, high value stocks that are going to carry me well into my 90s. And that's the importance of investing in the stock market when you're young, because I promise you, when you get into your 50s and 60s and you invested in the stock market in your 20s and 30s, it's going to be a piece of cake. Because like I tell people over and over again, for every $100 you put away in your 20s, in your 50s, that 100 is worth $2,000. $2,000. So that kind of tells you it's worth being invested. It's worth being in the stock market. Let me know what stocks you like right now, because I want to talk about the stocks you have questions about. So don't be afraid to ask me. I was a stockbroker in the 80s and 90s. I decided to become a stockbroker because I was just always interested in stock. I was just always interested in turning to the newspaper and seeing if my stock went up a quarter, if it went up a half. I cannot tell you what it was like as a kid getting the morning paper and looking to see if my stocks were doing well. Because every single dollar that I could put from my paper route money into the stock market, that's where I wanted it to be. So let me know in the comments what stocks you're looking at, what stocks you like. I've made it pretty obvious the stocks that I like. Like I said, DoorDash and Netflix, I just like where they're going. I think they're leaders, obviously, in their category, and I look for leaders in their category. That's what I look for. Same thing when I invest in oil stocks or in any stocks. I'm in NVIDIA because NVIDIA is the leader. And that's what I think in any category that you're going to think about investing in. Just know that you're going with the leader. And over the years, you're going to do really well, just like I've done really well. And I think the best stock I ever bought was probably Hanson's Beverage is the one I probably made the most money on. I made a lot of money on Apple too, because the first time I bought Apple, the very first time, I think I paid $1.88 a share. The first time I bought Apple, I think it was $1.88. I'll have to look at that again. I think I have it written down, but I'm pretty sure it was around $1.88. But again, let me know what you think. We're going to be continuing to talk about the stock market because I think the stock market is where you need to be. The stock market is the future for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So if you don't have your stash account, get your stash account. And thanks for joining me on the Dreway. If you have not subscribed yet, please do. Please subscribe. And don't go anywhere. Part 2 coming up. Some of you keep asking me about real estate, and I can't make it plain enough. Real estate is, I have zero interest in real estate right now, especially at the prices that we continue to stay around. Even though prices in many areas are dropping, they're not dropping fast enough. People still have delusions on what their house is worth. You're going to see over the next few years that delusion's going to break, or it's going to continue not to sell. Homes at these prices, at these interest rates, are not affordable. They're not affordable. And people trying to buy at 7% with these prices, it just doesn't make economic sense. It's just too expensive. So we can sit in this purgatory for I don't know how long, but it's all going to start to unravel. And when it really unravels is when employment really goes to hell. Employment hasn't gone to hell in a handbasket yet. But when you see unemployment hit 5.5% or 6%, it'll completely change real estate like you can't even imagine. It'll completely change the complexity. But what's going on in real estate right now, I have to be honest, nothing. And that's why it's not even worth talking about, because over the next few years, it's just going down. Now, are there going to be some bright spots up north? Yeah, because people are leaving the South going, get me out of here. You know, New York wasn't that bad. New Jersey wasn't that bad. Massachusetts wasn't that bad. Ohio wasn't that bad. I could at least survive there. I could at least get a house for $150,000 and survive. You know, trying to get one of these $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 homes in the South at 7%, it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. It's not a thing to do, you know. And I think that's where we are with real estate, and why I don't talk about it positively, because I don't think it's a positive thing to talk about. I think right now 11 million households are basically behind on their mortgage payment, and that number is supposed to double over the next 12 months. So you could be looking at 20 million households that are behind on payments. So what is the end result of real estate? Over the next 3, 4, 5 years, you're just going to see a slow moving crash. And what's the point on this show of continuing just to talk about it? It just doesn't make sense to me. From time to time, I'll tell people my opinion, just like I am right now. It's going down, and it's going to continue to go down. If you have a home in the South, good luck. If you're in Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Tennessee, Arizona, if you're along the South there, you're in trouble. Yeah, because your home is going down in value, and will continue to go down in value this year, next year, the year after that, the year after that. Yeah, there's nothing coming to save you. There's nothing that's going to change the track that we're on. So yes, I think you understand now why I'm hesitant to talk about real estate, because I've been talking about it for so long, saying, you know, it's going to be bad, and here it is, and people don't want to hear it anyway. People don't want to hear how bad it is. People don't want to hear how bad it's going to get. So that's why I'm moving on to different subjects. That's why I'm talking about different things, because it is what it is at this point. And you know, why should I be the bearer of bad news every day? Because all it's going to do is get worse and worse and worse. And you and I will be right here watching it happen. Let me know what you think in the comments. You guys are the best. Don't go anywhere. I have a final thought. Here's my final thought. We have the absolute worst president we could have in this time, in a time of war like this, with Israel attacking Iran and just bombing them mercilessly. We have a president that has no nuance, that has no real formal education in any of this, and he's surrounded by yes people. But what makes Donald Trump particularly dangerous, and I've said this over and over again, what makes this man really, really dangerous is he thinks he knows everything. He is such a coward. He's afraid to go, hey, what do you think? This is not my area. I need some people who specialize in this area, and I need some input. I need to have some educated thought brought into the conversation. He'll never do that. He's not secure enough with himself, because he knows he's an idiot. That's what people don't understand. Trump knows he's dumb. He knows, you know, and so do most of us. We know stupid when we see it. And that's the problem. You know, from what I understand, Saudi Arabia said to Israel, hey, you do not have a right over our airspace. Do not use our airspace. Really? Saudi Arabia? Trump, you didn't get on the phone and be like, hey guys, wait a minute here. We've been taking care of you for a long time. Why are you doing that to Israel? You have no say in Saudi Arabia, Mr. President? None? Really? Wow. Doesn't sound like you're respected around the world, does it? It sounds like other countries will do whatever they damn please. and not really care about what you think. And see, again, this is why it's important to have relationships. This is why it's important to be able to pick up the phone and have some integrity in your voice. There's no integrity in Donald Trump's voice, none whatsoever. And no one takes him seriously. Why should you? Everybody knows his background. Failed businessman, and had a semi-successful TV show where he pretended to be a boss of this big company. Yeah. So I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what somebody dumb will do. But all I know is we have the worst person we could possibly have in charge right now in the United States, because he has no experience in this area. He has no nuanced position, and he thinks he's right all the time. And that's just a dangerous combination. Thinking you're right all the time and being dumb is a dangerous combination when you're talking about war. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, guys, thank you for joining me on the Dreway. Don't forget, there's a new Dreway each and every day. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later.